Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. It's a beautiful morning here. I decided to get up early to make this video. This video is for Gordon Lightfoot, If You Could Read My Mind. This is part of the Start Your Ear Off Right campaign from Rhino Reserve. This record is mastered by Matt Luthans at the Mastering Lab and pressed at Fidelity Record Pressing. I did a full written review for this for Audiophilia. I'll leave a link for that below. When I do these companion reviews, and they are companions, the written review naturally has most of the details. And song-by-song analysis. Here, I try to make it brief and get the emotional core of the album. So these reviews are a little more off the cuff on YouTube. So I will try my best to bring in as much detail as I can without going overboard. The record was recorded in 1969 and early 1970. It was released in 1970, right at the beginning of the singer-songwriter movement, I would say. Gordon Lightfoot had been recording for United Artists up until this point. He put out several albums with them that are pure folk, unadorned, kind of simple, straightforward guitar and voice albums. He never was afforded this kind of sound before he got to Reprise. Reprise was trying to position him for a more widespread audience, a more modern audience. And I think they struck a very good balance here. The essential things that draw people to Gordon Lightfoot are still here. The songs, the wonderful songwriting. Almost every song on this album is written by him, except for one cover version, and that's Me and Bobby McGee from Chris Christopherson, later made famous by Janis Joplin. Even Gordon had a minor hit with that in Canada, but it didn't hit here. What really hit here was If You Could Read My Mind. This was released as a single after the album was put out, and it was such a big hit. It really put Gordon Lightfoot in front of the public at large. And it was so successful that they retitled the album. So the original ones say Sit Down Young Stranger as the title. And that's a great track too. But really, If You Could Read My Mind is the emotional centerpiece of the album. I love the whole album. I've grown to love the whole album, of course. I love songs like Minstrel of the Dawn. Me and Bobby McGee is wonderful. Saturday's Close is wonderful too. That features Auto Harp by John Sebastian. Cobwebs and Dust features another guest appearance by Van Dyke Parks on harmonium, and it's really kind of eerie and strange. But you know, these appearances are very tastefully brought in. This is basically a trio. It's Gordon Lightfoot on guitar, Red Shea on lead guitar. So he is doing most of the heavy lifting while Gordon is singing and doing his guitar work. Roy Haynes on bass. And that's about it. These guest appearances come in. There is a subtle string section, some of it arranged by Randy Newman, I believe. And this recording crosses the road from pure folk to singer-songwriter. So it has enough studio polish, especially on tracks with strings, that make it more appealing for a broader audience. I mean, Gordon Lightfoot's not everyone's cup of tea. You have to like storytelling. You have to like his gruff, kind of masculine voice. You have to appreciate simple arrangements and simplicity, because one of the magical things about this record is that trio. Oftentimes in this record, and this is one thing I really noticed that keeps impressing me about this record, no matter the original pressing or the reissue, is a song like If You Could Read My Mind or Minstrel of the Gallery. I'm sorry, Minstrel of the Dawn. This is not a Jeff Hotel record. Minstrel of the Dawn. They'll start out with just guitars and voice, sometimes layered guitars. And then all of a sudden, like in the second verse, you'll hear the bass come in. And the bass is so distinct, so deep, and beautifully integrated that everything starts to open up sonically. So you hear, the first part is just kind of like up here, and then the bass comes in, and usually there's a sweep of strings as well. So it's like the whole thing opens up. And you're like, oh my God, wow. This happens a few times, and it's so effective. It happens in that first track, that opening track. It happens in If You Could Read My Mind. You've probably heard it. And if you pay attention to it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That song is worth the whole price of the album to me. I've grown to love the whole album, as I said, but there's something about that song. It just gets me emotionally. The lyrics, they're so poetic. The delivery so earnest and honest. The beautiful guitar work, the wonderful production, the spare use of strings. It just builds to this emotional climax, and I've always loved that song. I even love the disco version. And that's probably a surprise to some people, but I grew up with disco music. I was in the clubs all the time. And one of the highlights of all the music that I've ever heard in a disco was the disco version of this song, If You Could Read My Mind by Viola Wills. Unbelievable. She took it and made it into an anthem. It's just wonderful. And it just goes to show the enduring power of that song, that it could translate to a dance track. She did a beautiful job with it. It's a wonderful production as well. Very, 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 very moving. I'm thinking about it now. There were so many moments on that dance floor where a song would grab you like that, and that's one of them. There's so many good songs on here. The mastering is so well done. This is not as dramatic as the change that was made to Tango in the Night, which I loved. Matt Luthans really needed to do some surgery on that album. So going to the original master tape instead of digital, and toning down some of the crazy metallic sheen to the album really helped things. But, on this one, I don't think that much had to be done. It was already a beautiful recording. This is the original pressing on Reprise. Well, not the original. This is the original retitled version on Reprise. This was what it looks like. Always sounded good. The pressing is okay, not the greatest. I always thought it was in pretty good shape, but I realized soon after I got this and started comparing that this has got a few blemishes. So the Rhino Reserve is pressed at Fidelity, beautifully, by the way. They have taken a little change with the cover. So if you see, this looks a little darker here on the original. They've really lightened it up, and it's a matter of taste whether you like it or not. I kind of prefer the more mysterious look of this one. I think they went a little too far, just brightening this up. On the back, it's about the same. This looks really sharp and beautiful, but both are great. This is a wonderful record. If you are at all interested in folk or the early singer-songwriter genre, you have to get this record. You have to get this record at the very, very least for If You Could Read My Mind. It's beautifully mastered, it's beautifully pressed, and it's affordable. It's like $31. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this. Please do read the full written review in Audiophilia, and let me know what you think about this record. Are you going to get it? I think everyone should get it. It's a classic of the genre. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.